And hello, good people of the internet. It is Tommy Kelly here once again from adventuresandwoohoo.com and all the other places on the internet that I hang out about. So, what has been going on for me? Well, the last podcast I talked about turning 40, and that was great fun, and I enjoyed it, and that's all good. I've been doing a vlog every day since on YouTube. Basically, I'm going to spend the next 28 days. Well, it's not 28 days now because I've done some days. It's day 6, I think, today. I'm going to vlog each day just about what I get up to and the different exercise and different things. And today's one will also have a bit of magic in because I'm going to do some sigilling in it to help improve the whole fitness thing as well. So we'll be incorporating magic stuff. Like, I mean, it is adventures and woo-woo and stuff like that. So there has to be some woo-woo in it at some point, and there's been a kind of distinct lack of woo-woo recently for me, but I'll talk about that a bit in a while. I also got a new bike, which I love. I was getting like a mountain bike, but I think I ended up with some sort of hybrid mountain bike, town bike, something, but it's perfect for me. It gets me around the area where I live, and it works brilliantly. It's light, and I'm very happy, and it came with 2 services as well, so if anything happens in the next while, you just bring it back, and not even if anything happens, you just bring it back and he tunes it up twice for you in the next 3 months. So that's awesome. And back out running. Well, not back out running. I've been running on the treadmill for a long while. Some of you might have heard me posting about it. And I've switched to running outside, which I've begun to really enjoy, and mostly doing about 5k a day, but not every day because I don't want to kill myself, to be honest. And you need some sort of rest, but I want to jog every day. So that's the 28 days I'll be jogging as well and doing a bit of biking. Today is a juice day for me on my diet. I'm trying to do 2 juice days a week and 1 fully vegan day. But the juice days kind of turn into vegan days too, just because, like, what are you, unless you're juicing cheese or something. Juicy cheese. But yeah, if I kind of not cheat, but like I'm having soup because that's just, hot fruit or hot juice or whatever. Like, it's the same. It was like spinach and something soup I had. It was lovely. It's quite nice anyway. But they're good. Juice days as well. They're kind of like fasting because you eat way less calories, obviously. But it's not fast because you're actually, you're eating. It's not like it's an actual fast or anything. It just feels like it. So that's kind of all the diet stuff or whatever, yeah. My overall aim is to get to 13 stone by Christmas. That's the goal, and to be fit, like, and look well and feel good about myself, all those things. And that's kind of all centered around this 13 stone. 13 stone was what I was about 10 years ago when I lost a load of weight on Weight Watchers. I put it on fairly quick after that, to be honest. And that's what I'm aiming for in that. That's when I felt the best. I've done a lot of weights and stuff since, so I don't know what 13 stone will be like now. And I haven't really been doing much weights at the minute, just because every time I do weights, I get bigger, but the fat doesn't go, so I just look, more fatter, even if I could use the correct language. So yeah, that's all the diet stuff. If you want to check that out, just go to the YouTube channel, and there's a playlist of vlogs. And if you're on Patreon, the videos go up there as well, so you can see them there. Or if you're on the Facebook, you can see them. If you want to see them, there you can find them. There's no problem. So I also have been working a bit on the 40 Shadows, which hasn't been going as quickly as I hoped. But again, I'm in no rush for this thing anyway. Like, it's not. There's no deadline or anything, and I don't have to work to a deadline. I do want to start getting people working on it though, and using the things even before the whole system is fully done or whatever, so that once we get a few of the shadows done, and I'll get the meditation or the journeying element of the actual cards or the actual system up and running, I'll record that and do that. It will we'll be able to start actually working with some of these things. And it's interesting too that the Rune Soup, the next course that's coming out for Rune Soup from Gordon, is going to be journeying. So I'll probably be able to incorporate things I learned from that into it. But the prime, or the main thing, I have kind of all worked out already, and I've talked about that in other places, probably on Patreon. because that's where most of the 40 Shadows stuff. If you want to know more about the 40 Shadows stuff, you kind of, at the minute, you have to sign up for the Patreon, because that's just the reward I give. One of the rewards, I think it's the $5 reward, and you get to all the 40 Shadows posts, the art, the process, as I'm doing the art, as it's going through it, you see them different, levels of completeness. The actual one I'm working on in a minute, Sorrow, there was a whole section of it, or a whole version of it, that I completely scrapped and started again. So all of that's there. You can see all those things. And I will be bringing more stuff into it, where we'll be talking a bit more about the qualities, what people find interesting or will want to work with part of the Shadows. And again, I have to point out, the 40 Shadows is just a working title. It may or may not end up as the 40 Shadows. I'm not sure if having something that sounds like the 40 Servants is a good or a bad idea. It might be a great idea, it might be a terrible idea, it might be a confusing idea. People might think it as being an add-on to the 40 Servants, which it isn't. So that's just what they're called at the minute, so that I can refer to them and point at them. I know what it is. So that's it, yeah. So there's the 40 Shadow stuff, the diet stuff, the exercise stuff, turning 40, all of those things. Now, I want to talk a bit about Magick, if that's okay. So I was talking before previously about that the last kind of while I haven't even been reading stuff, reading any books or whatever, and kind of pulled back a bit from that, and just there was a burnout kind of going on. And if there's a post I have on Adventures Move, and it's talking about trying to bring yourself back to, well, it's about getting lost in other people's opinions about what magic is or what it is. And when you hang out in certain, like say, hanging out in CMG, or hanging out in different forums, or doing different courses, or any of those things, you kind of forget that you don't have to take these ideas on board and take them as gospel or as truth, and you can go down these paths, and they're like, say, of the example I gave was doing the Rune Soup grimoire course, the wonderful course. This has not in any way a reflection on the actual course. This is just my reaction to it. The course is brilliant. Rune Soup premium's worth your money. This is not the issue. It was just going to do it and going through it, and it seems like, this is the kind of direction you should go in. These are the good things. This is the, grimoire. And I was kind of going, I'm not into it. My kind of thing with magic, and what attracted me mostly to magic, and to all of, like, say, even going back to the Stuart Wilde stuff, and that I always talk about, the teenagery, and all this kind of search through New Age books and Buddhism, Zen, or any of the things that I brought, is about becoming a more powerful or greater person. And not powerful in the sense of being able to act in the world better, not have power over people, or be a powerful person in the sense of like a famous person or successful person. I mean that I have more power to do things, like being able to, be better in, say, social situations, or to be able to have insights, to be able to help people or help myself to navigate through the world. Power in that sense, not power over people. Anyway, so my whole drive was personal development and self-help and all that. That's where all the Tony Robbins stuff came in, and all the Wayne Dyer stuff, and those books like Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, Remember It's All Small Stuff, and all this trying to become a better person. And I mean, thinking about it, I could probably had the opportunity arose, like doing something like, Scientology or something like that, where the aim is on, becoming clear and becoming better. And I kind of like that idea, but I'm just so not into Scientology, because it's, crazy. But is it crazy, any more crazy than any of the other things? Like, is Scientology really more crazy than goetic stuff? Like, if you were explaining it to someone who, and it's like, say, like, isn't into either, not an atheist, like someone who doesn't have an opinion, and you're explaining Scientology to them, or you're explaining like the Key of Solomon to them, or how that works. Like, I mean, is either of them going to sound any, they're about as crazy as each other than on one side of it, we've got, oh no, well, the grimoire stuff is actually the real stuff, and Scientology is the weird stuff. And I often think of like when you're in CMG, which is Chaos Magic Group on Facebook, or in any of these forums, whatever, and you have all these people, and we're all so convinced that magic is the thing and it's real and or whatever, whether you believe it's real or not, whatever. But we're so convinced that it's the thing, and I often sit there and I think like there must be like a Jesus Facebook group that it has the same exact dynamics or whatever, and they think they're the cool people and they have it right and all that. I mean, there has to be, and there's Buddhist ones or whatever it is, or atheist ones, whatever, and everyone kind of feels that they're right or in the right, the right in crowd or the right thing, and everyone's so sure. And when you're in that kind of circle or in that kind of thing, you kind of get swayed up in some ways into the group dynamic of what magic is. Like once you label say yourself as chaos magician, a chaos magic, you kind of, as though, even though it's the least kind of limiting kind of avenue, because it's the whole thing is you use a belief to get where you want. And that seems to have disappeared from mainstream chaos magic, and it's almost as if all the stuff that chaos magic tried to get rid of when it started out has now been all brought back into chaos magic very happily, and that's not my chaos magic. No problem with it, no issue with it or anything like that. And it's just I kind of have to remind myself that that's not what I'm looking for, or that's not what I'm into, or that's not the direction I want to go in. And just because it's a trend and maybe it's interesting or it's, and it works for so many people and all this, doesn't necessarily mean that that has to be my path. That the group dynamic or the overall feeling of chaos magic may change, and that's fine, but I don't have to go with it. And I may do. It's just the remembrance of your own path or your own journey. And I feel I kind of, not in a big way, not in a kind of, I lost myself. I didn't lose myself, but I just kind of noticed that I was pulling back more and more from these things. Like the last book I read is the book of Oberon. And it's still sitting beside my bedside. It's by my bed on my bedside locker this weeks, and I didn't finish it, and I've no interest in going back to it at all. And I was even when I was reading it, I was kind of not into it, but reading it because I was going, "This is the thing you should be reading. This is the good thing, or whatever." Same with the Game of Saturn. I stopped reading it as well. I found it tremendously hard going, and not because the book is bad. The book is well written. It's a wonderful book. All these things. I just not into it at the moment. So what I did is I went back and I started come back to my roots. What am I in? Back to the Stuart Wilde stuff. Back to I've spoken before that the law of attraction stuff, and it's the dirty word. You're not allowed to talk about it. It's too new agey. That stuff was more successful for me than say sigils was, and it was kind of odd that I don't use it anymore. And it's again this thing of because it's not cool or it's not part of the game that you're currently playing or whatever. But definitely, the law of attraction for me at certain times works way better than sigils or invoking or petitioning or prayer or any of the things. And I think it's because you're kind of directing it in a sense. And so it might sit with me better that it's because you're not asking someone to do something for you in the way you would with intercessionary magic, like the grimoire stuff or the goetic stuff or working with the saints, whatever, where you're basically going up to someone and going, will you do this for me? Because I can't do it for myself. Whereas in some way, getting in this thing of law of attraction or becoming in line, as Stuart Wilde would talk about, getting in line with the God force or, the cosmic ordering system talks about that thing as well. The interesting thing about the cosmic ordering system, and I think this was another reason why it kind of put me off to all law of attraction, is that she died of cancer, the one who came up with that. I can't remember. Barbara Rand Benabel, something. I can't remember her name or whatever. And that kind of put me off in the sense going, well, why didn't she order not to have it if it works so well? Or, that's very glib and horrible way. But like genuinely, like, and then I'm thinking, question, thinking about it, going like, when she found out about it, did she order it and then didn't get the treatment she could have got because she was, following her own bliss or her own path or whatever that the cosmic order, the universe would deliver, and it obviously didn't because she died and she was young, and so when I heard that kind of put me off the law of attraction. The other thing that puts me off the law, this is all over the place, I understand, but I'm just going with it. This is what it is. The other thing about the law of attraction is the victim blaming element that I really dislike about it, in that what I've just done, in a sense, where you got cancer, is it her fault? I don't think it's her fault. And I don't think she created it. And I think it's kind of horrible that if someone, if you come from the mindset, you bring these things on yourself, and someone tells them you have cancer, tells you they have cancer, that you go, oh, you've brought that on yourself, that's your fault. What were you thinking? You have to let go, or you weren't doing these things. Remember Ken Wilber talking about when his wife was dying of cancer, that he just got the two of them just got so sick of people telling them they had to let go or to just release or whatever, these shitty fucking things that people think is the right thing to say to people. But it's ultimately victim blaming. Now, sometimes it is your fault, or it is people's fault. So I'm not saying that there's never the victim's fault. But if it's your go-to, or not our go-to thing of when someone says something, it's like when you hear that, and I do it myself, like you hear, oh, someone got beaten up at the weekend or got attacked or something like that. And your first thing is to try and make it their fault. And the reason we do that is because we don't want it to happen to us. And if it's random and it could have happened to anyone, then it can happen to us. But if we in some way can blame the victim, then you can go, well, I won't do that. I'm not the type of person that does that. That's not the thing. And you can feel safer. But you aren't any safer. There is randomness in the universe. And people do, bad things happen to good people. We know this. And people do, just happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Stuart Wilde talks about it in a kind of slightly different way. And he would talk about energy patterns. And he comes up with this kind of, just a random number that he made up of 20,000 cycles per second is, your energy pattern. And that's of the average person. And below that, if you're at 10,000 energy cycles, bad things happen to you just because you're a low energy. But as the higher energy you get, the more things fall into place, things go well for you and all that. And meditation and all of this stuff gets you to the higher levels, and, soul development and personal development and all this kind of stuff. And that's interesting too, but it still kind of has this piece of, low energy and kind of putting people on scales. So there's all of that doesn't fully sit with me. But all of that said, it seems to work in practice a lot of the time. Not all the time. It's the same as, like, people say sigils, or Grant Morrison talks about sigils always working. And my sigils don't always work. And that thing of probability enhancement where it went from 2,000 to 1 happened to 1,000 to 1 happened. It's all well and good. Their sigil worked. It's just the probability lowered. That's unfalsifiable, totally. And so no good. You can't. What are you going to do with that? So to say sigils always working because of probability enhancement, fine, right? But you could say that moving my mouse to the left 6 times always works to reduce the possibility of me getting a flu. Because it lowers the chance. But like, how do you falsify that? It's just, it's not helpful. It's not. I don't find it helpful anyway. But like the thing about being positive or letting go, or the thing I've talked about before about not resisting life, or allowing this kind of flow thing. These are all so new agey, but it's like cliches are cliches, I suppose, because they're kind of true, but it just sounds woo-woo, and that's what we're going for. But I noticed that when I allow the flow and I don't resist and I stop trying to hold back life or stop trying to control things with my mind, I can't explain this fully because it's not letting go. It's not that thing. It's not giving up. It's not being happy about it. Like if something bad happens, just accept it. It's not about accepting. It's about not trying to stop it happening. It's about resistance. And when you stop doing that, or when I stop doing that, and allowed, as almost as if the energy, if you want to use these words, you could feel the energy coming towards you, flowing, and your life flowing better. And all these thoughts, negative things, whatever, seems to stop this energy flow. And it seems to. That's all I can say. And then when I work on these things, or when I try to be more positive or more accepting or just going with the flow, literally, things definitely work out better for me. And not seem to work out better in that, oh, I'm in better form, and so it seems. Actual things work out better, where that's when the synchronicities start coming for me. So I'm going to start doing some more law of attraction stuff, and I'm going to do some vision boards. I'm not going to throw away all the other stuff with sigils and stuff like that, because I think there's a time and a place. There's some things that really work well with sigils, but there's some things that work really well with vision boards and affirmations and, you know, visualization and seeing yourself in situations, you know, like that stupid thing in The Secret of seeing yourself driving your new car or whatever. And Stuart Wilde talks about go test drive these cars, or, you know, go sit in the car in the showroom, or hang out with the car. You know, I just want to hang out with the car. Or, you know, if to get that feeling of affluence or whatever, go to a really expensive hotel, but just buy a coffee, you know, but sit and hang out in the energy of these places or whatever. And that's kind of like invoking the same idea I have like with the 40 servants, where you try on the clothes of these things, try on what it feels like to be the carnal, to feel sexy and to feel those things, and, you know, borrow that energy in a sense. So that's what I think they talk about in the law of attraction and the secret type stuff. There is like, you're trying it out, and you're getting used to this type of energy, so that it's, I don't think it's I don't know the mechanic behind it. I don't think it's that you suddenly become magnetic to things or whatever, but I don't know. I think, could it be energy matching something? I don't know. I don't know. I'll leave that to you, my dear listeners. So yeah, long and short of it, I'm going to be doing more law of attraction. I'm going to do my vision board. So I have to work out what I'm going to do on that and what I want. That's not another thing that's very hard about law of attraction. I like when you have to go, what do you want? What do you actually want? So maybe even the goal setting part of it is the thing that works. But I do that with sigils too. So anyway, very rambly, very ranty, not ranty at all, very rambly. So I will leave it there. We'll do a short one this week just to keep it going. I'm going to be doing some videos today for the 40 servants, because I haven't done some in a while, and I'm going to be doing the adventurer, the balancer, and the carnal. And because I did audiobooks of them, audiobook files of them this morning for the Patreon, so they're in my head, and so I have to set that up. I'm also going to be doing, as part of the vlog, I'm going to be doing a sigil. After all my talk, I am going to be doing a sigil for that, so I have to do that. So there's plenty to be doing today, and plenty of stuff coming out from me as well. So sorry this was kind of not ranty, Tommy. This was kind of rambly and a bit all over the place, but I kind of mentally am a bit all over the place at the minute with my thoughts and what I'm at, whatever. So that's just a window into where I am at the minute. So hopefully it wasn't too annoying, or, you know, you made it. If you made it to this point, then it obviously wasn't too annoying. But I will try to get a bit more structure into these as I go along. Just, I have a lot on at the minute. I'm just trying to get things out and keeping everything going or whatever. So, but the future will be better. The future will be bright. All those things. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I will talk to you all next week, and check out the vlogs on YouTube. Check out adventuresinwoowoo.com, the 47servants.com. Facebook has decided that adventuresinwoowoo.com /the 40 servants and the 40servants.com are spam links at the moment. I'm trying to work that around. So there's a new Facebook link if you want to link the 40 servants on Facebook. And it is adventuresinwoowoo.com /Facebook 47, or just go to adventuresinwoowoo.com and go to the 47 and the link is there, all that stuff. I'm on Twitter, all those things, you know, so find me wherever all good people go, and I'll talk to you all next week. Have a good one. Bye.